All right, Felix Boka, National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, thank you very much for your time. We have more conversations here, right here on Politics HQ. On November 11, 2023, registered voters in Kogi State will troop out to elect their first governor in 8 years. Now, Kogi, which has been led by the All Progressives Congress for the past 8 years, has a chance to elect another governor after the end of Governor Yahaya Bello's tenure. 18 political parties are expected to slug it out for eligible voters amongst the 2 million registered voters in the state, with Usman Ahmed Ododo of the APC, Dino Melaye of the PDP, Muritala Ajaka, a former National Publicity Secretary of the APC, all strong contenders in that election. Another notable candidate is the current member of the House of Representatives, Abejide, Leke Abejide, who is on the platform of the ADC. He recently said he actually campaigned for President Tinubu. With the election delicately poised, it's making for an interesting turnout. Joining us tonight on Politics HQ is Kingsley Fanwo, who is the Kogi State Commissioner for Information and spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State. Kingsley, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I'm not the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in Kogi State. I am the spokesperson of the Kogi State Governorship, APC Governorship Campaign Council.
Okay.
The party has a spokesperson. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for time. Do you think, or what do you say to those who say that as the Commissioner for Information, you should not be occupying a position of the spokesperson for the Governorship Campaign Council, bearing in mind you work for the government of Kogi State and you are paid by the people of Kogi State to speak for the government and the people of Kogi State, not for a political party?
Yes, I am paid to speak for the government of Kogi State, but at the same time, I belong to a political party and I have the constitutional right to also serve the political party that I belong to. I am not being paid to be the spokesperson of the campaign council of the APC governorship campaigns.
Okay, tell us why the people of Kogi State should vote the APC again after 8 years of Yahaya Bello as governor.
Thank you very much. Though the governor is not on the ballot, but his party is on the ballot. And what is going to be the major determinant of what the people will do is definitely the scorecard of the present administration of the state, which would form part of the determining factors. When you look at the achievements of the present administration in the state, in the area of education, healthcare, infrastructure, women and youth empowerment, industrialization, food security, and security of lives and property, you would agree with me that he has performed excellently. And because of that, the people will have confidence in the party. And also, the candidate of the party is someone with so much capacity and competence, someone with experience who served with the administration for 7 years before resigning to contest for the ticket of the party. So he's the most qualified, he's the most experienced in statecraft. He understands the runnings of the state, he understands statecraft and all of that. So he is the most prepared and the most qualified candidate among all the candidates, with due respect to all the other candidates.
Well, Vice President Shatima was in Kogi State for the flag off of the party's governorship campaign and official presentation of flag to Ododo. That was on Sunday in Lokoja. I believe you were there. And one of the things he said was, quote, for us to build on a legacy and for the purpose of continuity and consolidation, it becomes imperative for the people of Kogi State to align themselves with the power at the center. So, talking about legacy and continuity, what were the achievements of the APC under Yahaya Bello? What sort of projects he undertook, and landmark achievements that Ododo would like the people of Kogi State to vote for him to continue, as Shatima has said?
Yahaya Bello came into power to operate on the thematic areas of his administration. He had a clear-cut vision of how he wants his government to operate. And top on that is education. When you look at education in the state, you will discover that apart from the heavy investment in universal basic education, you will see that secondary education was also given priority attention with the construction of model secondary schools to take thousands of pupils in an environment that is conducive with state-of-the-art facilities for learning. Apart from that, most of the tertiary institutions in the state were also remodeled, and also you will discover that a university, a special university called the Confluence University on Science and Technology, COSTECH, was established by the administration. They are in the third year as we speak. And another university was also established a few months ago, another Kogi State University in Kaba. For the first time, the Okun people in Western Central District will be having a university of their own. So these are some of the legacy achievements of the administration in the area of education. If you go to the Prince Abaka University also, you will discover a complete turnaround and the modeling of the institution. And also you have the teaching hospital operating there. Also, if you go to the area of healthcare delivery, but still on education, you discover that even UNICEF benchmark for education budgeting is 26%, but Kogi is already doing 30%. We've taken it above the UNICEF benchmark. And you know, the point is that when you invest heavily on education, it will be very easy for you to be able to develop the society, because when you train the mind, that mind that is trained will develop the society. And when you have a special investment like COSTECH, we're already having a vision that we would have a president in Nigeria who will pay attention to industrialization, and the issue of Ajakuta Steel Company will come to the front burners. That is coming to the front burners now. So there will be trained engineers from COSTECH who will be able to fill in the industries in Kogi State, who will be able to work at Ajakuta Steel Company, who will be able to work at Itape Mining industry, at Obajano Cement Company, at Manga Cement Company, and all of those industries that are springing in the state because of our endowment as one of the most endowed states when it comes to solid minerals in the country. So we're trying to passion our education to be able to meet these demands for professionals, for engineers, for artisans in the future. When you go to the healthcare sector, you discover that most of the institutions in that sector today has been completely revolutionized. You have a reference hospital that is so equipped that some of the equipment in those hospitals are debuting for the first time in Africa.
All right.
So it's a whole lot of achievement in education, in healthcare, in security, in food security, in infrastructure, and all of the other sectors.
Very interesting, Kingsley. Senator Smart Adeyemi had filed a suit at the Federal High Court seeking to nullify the primary election of Usman Ododo, your party's flag bearer. It's set to come up on appeal at the Supreme Court on October 23. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you think this will affect the fortunes of the APC in the governorship election? I mean, it's possible the Supreme Court could rule in favor of Senator Smart Adeyemi.
You can see that we are going about our electioneering without giving that a thought. The suit was instituted at the lower court. He lost. He went to the Court of Appeal. He lost. He has gone again to the Supreme Court. And it is our tradition not to comment on issues that are before a competent court of jurisdiction. We don't want to be accused of prejudice. So we will leave it at that. The Supreme Court will determine whether his claims are right or wrong. The lower court and the court had already decided that, but he is dissatisfied and he has gone upstairs to seek for redress. So let us wait and see what will happen, because we are not the court that will determine that case.
Yes, indeed. We were not asking you to comment on the substantive matter, but asking how you think the whole process will affect your party. And of course, if you have any plans, in case you don't have the outcome you so wish. But let's look at some of the statements from the PDP governorship candidate, Senator Dino Melaye, who I'm sure you're familiar with. And he decried the killings in Kogi State and also decried the harsh living conditions in Kogi State under the All Progressives Congress, saying that he's in the race to lead the charge to emancipate Kogi State from oppressive forces. What do you say to that?
They are blanket claims by Senator Dino Melaye. We are all condemning the killing that happened at Kofi when the candidate of the SDP, Muritala Ajaka, went there, and his thugs killed a young lady who was not armed and whose only offense was belonging to the All Progressives Congress. we all join in condemning that. So if Dino Melaye is joining us to condemn that, that's quite plausible. But when you talk about the living standard of the people of the state, that's a very general and blanket generalization of issues. Let him come out with specifics. With what we have done in the state, we've been able to pull more people out of poverty with our policies, with our programs, with our projects, with our agenda.
Yes, Kingsley, how many people has the APC or the government of Kogi State pulled out of poverty? Do you have a figure you can give us?
Yeah, when you talk about pulling people out of poverty, you talk about creating the economic environment that will be able to help people to be empowered. You can see that apart from having Dangote Cement Company, which was established before this administration came on board, you will see that Manga Cement is springing up already, and already hundreds of people are working at the construction site. It is a $600 million project.
Is that a government project?
Environment. You have a lot of other industries that are springing up in the state, and this is giving jobs to the jobless in the society.
Okay, is that Manga cement factory a government project, sir?
It is a government project. Government has no business in establishing such businesses. What you do is to create the right environment, the right atmosphere for such businesses to spring up. Our is to make policies that will be able to drive some of this. So we don't have to establish a cement company as a government. Okay,
but you said that in response to Senator Dino Melaye's statement that Kogi people need to be emancipated. They're talking about how they've been placed into poverty and all that. You saying that Yahaya Bello as governor of Kogi State and the APC-led Kogi State government has lifted Kogi people, a lot of them, out of poverty. And I was simply asking you if you have a number, a figure of how many people, statistically speaking, under the APC in Kogi State, as led by Yahaya Bello, have been lifted out of poverty. Can you give me a number or an estimate?
We can't be talking about numbers here. We can only be talking about people that have been able to secure jobs in some of the companies that have been able to spring up because of the right economic environment created by the state. We also established a rice mill that is the second largest in the entire northern Nigeria that has also been able to employ a lot of people. And you have the chain effect of having such a company, the multiplier effect of having such a rice mill, and how it has been able to help the people in terms of food security and all of that. These are some of the things that.
But Kingsley, you accused Dino Melaye of speaking in general terms. Sorry, Kingsley, I'm sorry to interject. You accused Dino Melaye of speaking in general terms, but you're also failing to give me the specifics, which is a global standard all over the world. Governments are able to say, well, this is how many people we've given jobs. These are how many people we've taken out of poverty. So you're also speaking generally, like you're accusing Dino Melaye.
I'm surprised that you didn't ask Dino Melaye this, because Dino Melaye told you that many people have sunk into poverty. Did you ask him what was the poverty? What was the percentage of people who were living below the poverty line before this administration?
Well, if he's seated in front of me, I will certainly ask him, sir. You can count on my word.
If it's not giving you that, if it's not giving you that, then you should not also be expecting that kind of figure. You don't give this kind of a thing. You don't come out to say we have lifted 1 million above the poverty line, because every day you have the multiplier effect to some of the policies of government. So it would amount to statistical fallacy for you to come on board and say exactly this is the number of people you can deal with that. We can put our statistics together and then look at the number of people that have been pulled out of the poverty. But I'm saying that our policies has created environment for industries to spring up, for people who are seeking jobs to be able to get jobs and all of that. This is how to lift people out of poverty, creating an environment through which industries can spring up, through which they can practice agriculture at commercial level and also be able to export some of the agricultural products, like Kogi is #1 in cashew production in the entire country and #1 in cassava production in the entire country. That shows that apart from producing some of these crops, we are already working on the value chain to ensure that we can add value to some of those products before selling them. And that enhances the economic capacity and capability of the farmers in the state. These are some of the policies that we are talking about.
All right. Talking about the policies, lifting people out of poverty and all that, there was a report in June this year. I have a copy of it in my hand, where we were told that 34 states owe a backlog of gratuities. 27 states are burdened with unpaid pensions. 13 states owe salaries. And one of those states that are said to be owing salaries happens to be Kogi State. So how do you juxtapose this with your claim that the people of Kogi State should vote for Ododo because under Bello, they've been enjoying economic emancipation? Tell us about the unpaid salaries and gratuities of workers in Kogi State by the government.
Gratuity is something that pensions and gratuities, we have backlogs dating back to the creation of the state. Some of those liabilities were even brought from Kwara State to Kogi State. And we set up what we call a pension commission to integrate the retirees from both the state and the local government councils. And today we are committing billions of naira every month to ensure that we defray the arrears that are dated back over 20 years. So it is not peculiar to this administration. And when you talk about salary, statistics at times, some of these statistics do not match the reality on ground. And what I will tell you is that September 2023 salary was paid before the end of September. We inherited 3 months. When we came in 2016, there was to be a major industrial action by the labor unions. And the governor intervened even before he was sworn in. And today, we've been able to clear those areas, and we are not owing a single month. So when they talk about states that are owing salaries and you are adding Kogi State, then we know that statistics is faulty. You can bring civil servants from Kogi State to your station and ask them whether the state government is owing them a single month.
That's why I said the report was from June 2023. So you're saying that no civil servant is being owed a salary by Kogi State government?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
There is no employee under the Kogi State government that is owed a
Thank you very much. Kingsley Fanwo, thank you so much for answering our questions and for your time. It's been enjoyable, and we hope to have you soon again.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Kingsley Fanwo, Kogi State Commissioner for Information and spokesperson for the APC Governorship Campaign Council. It's been quite an interesting, sometimes hectic episode of Politics HQ, but that's it for this week. And what better way to end the week? We'll be back on Monday with more on this program. My name is Kofi. Bartels, thanks for being company.